Hello YouTube, this is Dan coming at you with a haul video. This is something that's new on my channel. I haven't really done a lot of stuff on my regular channel, so I figured I'd open it with this. I'll probably do an update just to go through like what my plans are for this channel going forward. I have a lot of plans in my head, just a matter of trying to put them down and actually get to acting on them. But the first thing I thought I'd do just to ease into all this video making and stuff like that before I get my live stream set up is to give you guys one of my haul videos. And I like doing these because I like to like reflecting on the things that I bought. I'll probably be doing reviews on stuff that I've read as well, but yeah, so we'll talk more about that in another video. But so this haul was over this weekend. My local Books a Million called me and told me that they had a lot of stuff in stock. And for all you guys out there who collect comic books and looking to save money, Books a Million actually has some pretty good deals that they run a lot of times with bargain books. So I picked it up, and I get they actually gave my phone number, so they call me every time they get new books in. So I get the inside scoop, if you know what I mean. So yeah, so let's just get started. So the first book, I'm gonna start with single issues and then work my way down to the hardcovers and all that stuff and bigger collections. But the first book is actually a book that I actually bought in my local comic book shop, which is not really doing well right now for a lot of different reasons. But I picked it up because I needed it. It's Invincible Iron Man Volume 3, Number 3. This is Riri Williams ongoing that came out end of 2016, beginning of 2017. I'm looking towards getting her paperbacks, but for right now, I'm just gonna be content with getting the single issues. They release those premium hardcovers too of her stuff, and I just don't feel like spending $15 for 6 issues. So for right now, I'm just collecting the single issues. Might get the paperbacks. They might release in like one of these types of hardcovers later down the line, so I might get that if it comes out like that. If not, whatever, I'll just find a way. But I'm not in any rush to read it. Yeah. So number 3, I have number 1 and 2. So you know, getting on the pile there. I'm just tossing my stuff on my bed. I don't care. So all this other stuff is not really in any order. It's not alphabetized or anything. I just, I did 2 trips. One time I went and got a shit ton of stuff, and then the second time I went back and got more stuff because they had another sale that was 20% off today. So I got that. Also was getting stuff from my friends too. So a lot of different deals. So let's get into first book here. So the first book is Elektra. Um, I talked to my friend about this. He said the art is amazing, and just flipping through it here, you can kind of see really cool art. I'm not doing a really good job of showing the art. Looks pretty cool. I was a big fan of Elektra in the Daredevil Netflix show, and then I read Miller's Daredevil, which is right here, and then I read Ultimate Spider-Man, which featured her heavily in the first few story arcs. So excited to read an ongoing story about her. I'm guessing this is a mini since it's not any volume or whatever, but yeah, picked it up. It was like $5, $4, I guess, whatever, with the sale. So next thing is Spider Woman, Volume 3 of the Shifting Gears volume. I think it's like Volume 6 of Spider Woman. One of those characters that has a crazy amount of volumes. But yeah, just another trade paperback. I have Volume 1, which is called Baby Talk, which is talking about, her having a baby. So this is, Volume 3. Looks really interesting. Looks like it has the Hobgoblin or Green Goblin, whatever. Haven't really read a lot of Spider-Woman stuff. Just read her, seen some of her interactions with like the New Avengers and like Hawkeye and Fractions run. So excited to see her character in here. I've also read Jessica Drew in the Ultimate Universe, which is a little weird because she's like a clone of Peter, so that's kind of creepy. So let's see. Next thing, all new, all different Avengers volume 2 trade paperback. I have the first volume. Oh, right there. Yeah, I just want to make sure I didn't buy the same one. But this was the Avengers series that came out of Secret Wars, and it featured Miles Morales, Jane Foster, Thor, Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. So I'm excited to read this. has Wasp on the back too. So I'm a big fan of Wasp and Hank Pym and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see what this story has. You know, the art looks pretty cool. Alex Ross covers, so awesome. I'm not sure how many volumes are on at this point for this. I don't know how long this series went till. I'm assuming it's probably 4 or 5 trades. So at this point, I'm just going to try to stealthily collect all the trades as I see them. Like I said, I got the first one for $5, got this for $5, so I'm not trying to spend a lot of money on these, just trying to see if I can find them for cheap. Next thing we got, this is probably the most cringeworthy thing. I know a lot of people in the comments or who are reading this are going to freak out when I show this, but I had to get it because I'm a big fan of Zoom Zooms. So this is the Marvel Tsum Tsum Takeover. So you can see here pretty crazy stuff. So for anyone who's not familiar, Marvel or Disney released these little these little like fabric like little things called Tsum Tsums like back I think like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And then they started doing all the Marvel ones. You can see here like they're kind of crazy. So yeah, so I picked it up, and they actually made a comic about it back in, I think this was 2016 or something, 2015, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm excited to read this and see what the hell it's all about. I know it's commercialization at its best, but whatever. I mean, it'd be cool to see a comic about a toy. If I hate it, I'll just sell it. But I don't think I'm gonna hate it because I love Tsum Tsums. So here we go. Yep. So the next thing is Kingpin, Volume 1, his ongoing series. And I think I looked it up. This is actually the second volume of a Kingpin solo series. I didn't know that there was another one that came out in 2003, but it looks really cool. It has Daredevil and Elektra on the front. This features the first 5 issues from his 2017 series. So I'm really excited to see, a villain like Wilson Fisk getting his own ongoing series. I'm excited to see what this is about. I haven't heard anything about it, whether it's good or bad, but I mean, it kind of piqued my interest a little bit. So you can see I'm trying to get heavily into Daredevil stuff. I've read a lot of Daredevil stuff already. I've read like Miller, pretty much all of like Miller's hits, and then I read like Guardian Devil. Want to get into like Nascenti's run and all that stuff as well. But this is really cool just to look at the other secondary characters of Daredevil's history and kind of see, a solo book dedicated to them. The art in this looks pretty cool too. Just flipping through, kind of dark, bleak, interesting. We'll see. I should probably put these in a pile over here so I don't wreck them. So the next trade paperback I found is Black Widow by Mark Waid, I believe. Yeah, this collects, I think, the first 6 issues of her ongoing series, and this is also after Secret Wars, I believe. Could be wrong. I think this is from 2015. Oh, 2014. I'm sorry. So this was before Secret Wars. I'm using that kind of as basis for all this stuff to kind of give people context because that's like the most recent event that kind of reset the whole universe. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Black Widow. I'm glad that Marvel has. I don't know if they've officially decided on doing it or not, but they have had talks of giving Black Widow her own solo movie. I knew her a lot back in like the Tales of Suspense Iron Man days, and then into Avengers, the early Avengers stuff. She's also had interactions with Iron Man all over the place. In John Byrne's Iron Man run, in Kurt Busiek's run of Iron Man. So, I'm excited to see her own story and see what's going on with her. So yeah, this looks cool. We'll see. So the next thing, so I'm probably one of the only people who've actually collected this whole series. I had the first 2 volumes, and I found the 3rd volume of Patsy Walker, aka Hellcat. Um, you know, I'm a big fan of, the Hellcat that was in, the character Patsy Walker that was in Jessica Jones was really interesting. I thought she had a lot of spunk, and she was really a really good character in that show, along with Jessica Jones. And then that got me thinking about her character in the comics, how she was Hellcat, all this stuff. And I read, I think it was like George Perez, and I forget who was writing. I think it was, what's his name? Shooter? Jim Shooter and Perez's run on Avengers had a lot of Hellcat and Beast and stuff like that. So, I think I read the one epic collection that had um, her origin. I think it was the Final Threat epic collection right here. So I kind of got exposure to her through that, and then I saw she had an ongoing. And I figured, why not pick this up? I think I've also had interactions with her in Slot's She-Hulk run. I think she was in there a little bit, so that's cool. So, yeah, so this has this ongoing series that she had back in. It doesn't say. Like I'm gonna assume pretty recently. It only had 17 issues, so I'm guessing it wasn't good enough for Marvel to keep making issues for. But it looks really cool. The art looks really fun. Um, you know, a lot of cool interactions that I've seen from other characters like the Black Cat and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see what this trade paperback's about. I love the names of them because they're all puns. So like the first volume is, let's see, shoot, where is it? It's here somewhere. Yeah, the first volume is Hooked on a Feline instead of Hooked on a Feeling, which I thought was funny. The second one is Don't Stop Meow instead of Don't Stop Me Now. And then this one is Careless Whiskers instead of Careless Whisper. So, yeah, I like puns. So this is cool. We'll see. It's nice to have the whole collection so I can sit down and read it. But yeah, I think I've talked too much about Hellcat already, so I'll just keep moving on. The next paperback that I found, and this is a little bit thicker, so we're getting into like the bigger collections, but found Age of Ultron, which I heard a lot of people say is garbage. It's not really that good. It's not at all related to the movie that came out in 2015. But it's one of those events by Bendis that I have to at least experience and see, make decisions for myself. I mean, I've heard people say it's crap, but I am interested in Ultron, so I want to see what this is for myself before I make judgments. And it was only, and to be honest, it was only like $8, so I'm not gonna find it for much cheaper than that, and I'm not buying the hardcover. I just want to buy the event and see what's going on. But yeah, just looking through some stuff. It looks pretty crazy in here. Red Hulk and whatever's going on there. So I'll have to see where this fits into the timeline of reading. If I can just read it by myself, I'll consult my friend on that. But yeah, has Age of Ultron 1 to 10, and then Avengers 12.1. So pretty good deal for $8. The next thing I bought, and this is part of my, was actually something that was on my list for about a year that I could not find, or it was just really expensive online. I wasn't going to pay $20 for it. Was Rocket Raccoon and Groot, the complete collection. It's not a complete collection. I'm sorry. Rocket Raccoon and Groot, Bite and Bark, Volume 0. So it's essentially the same size as a complete collection, but they don't call it that. This is really cool. It was actually recommended to me from my friend. You can see here on the front, Scotty Young art. So really excited to see this art. For anyone who doesn't know, Scotty Young was the one who drew all of, like the little Marvel stuff that the Avengers versus X-Men, all those little kid versions of the Marvel characters. He drew all that stuff. So I'm a little confused though because his name is number 1, is like very top of this like list here. So I'm wondering if he also wrote the book, but we'll see. This is actually like, I actually have a spreadsheet that I keep track of all the books that I buy, and this was actually the last Guardians of the Galaxy related book that I had on my list that I wanted, at least for now, because I might be adding stuff later, but yeah, this is the last book I had on my list, and I have it, so that's really cool. But yeah, obviously Rocket Raccoon and Groot have gotten a lot more popular over the years, ever since the first Guardians movie came out. So I'm excited to read this. This came out in 2014. I don't know if this came out before Guardians, the movie, came out or after, but excited to read it. Looks cool. So the next thing is the Immortal Iron Fist Complete Collection Volume 1 by Matt Fraction, Ed Brubaker. So I really do like Ed, or not that. Well, yeah, I like them both, but I like Matt Fraction because his Iron Man run is awesome, his Hawkeye run is awesome. There's a third thing that he probably did that I liked, but I can't remember right now. Um, and Ed Brubaker, basically he nails Captain America. I read, the Marvels project. I still haven't gotten into his Captain America run. I'm still figuring out the best way to collect that because it's a little tricky if you don't have the omnibus. So, but yeah, so the Immortal Iron Fist, I found this for $8. And I was researching, and I don't know if I may be wrong here, but most of the material in this book is covered in the omnibus. So, I figured I might as well just get this and get the second one when it comes out. Uh, get the second one if I find it for cheap instead of just finding the omnibus, which I think is out of print. Um, so yeah, I'm not really. I'm actually, I'm actually like 3 episodes into Iron Fist right now, and I've taken a hiatus for like a few weeks. Um, I actually kind of like it so far. I mean, aside from the casting of Finn Jones as Iron Fist, I think the story is pretty easy to follow, and I think I need to get back into it because I was pretty interested in it. The whole idea of starting from scratch and having nobody, slowly figuring out the pieces, putting the pieces together about Danny Rand's past and how he came to New York and all that stuff is really cool. So I'm excited to read one of the most acclaimed Iron Fist runs. I have the Power Man Iron Fist Epic collections, so I want to read all those together just so I have like exposure to Iron Fist as a whole. But yeah, I mean he's really cool. Um, just flipping through here, art looks pretty crazy. You know, that's not the best. That's not the best. I pick a really panel to show, but we'll see. I've heard that it's good material, so that's why I picked it up. All right, so getting down to the pile here. Next one we have is Doctor Strange, Epic Collection Afterlife, and this is pretty crazy because this came out like I want to say maybe like 6 or 7 months ago. It came out in 2017, and it's already on the discount bookshelf at a Books a Million for selling for you know $10. Cover price is $40. So that's pretty crazy. 75% discount on an Epic collection. And these things are really, you can see here my collection. All these are Epic collections right here. I mean, it's a pretty convenient format that Marvel has been putting out, so that's why I kind of get it. So, um, I was looking through here, and it is pretty 90s. Like you can see the art. This was around the time where like artists were kind of experimenting with digital rendering of like the images and stuff like that. So, um, may not be the best material. I mean, not judging by the art, but just judging by the time period with the 90s. Not a lot of good comics came out of the 1994 to 1997 from pretty much any company, whether it be Marvel or DC. So, we'll see how this goes. I just jumped on it because it was cheap, and I've been trying to get into more Doctor Strange stuff. I have one of his epic collections here called The Separate Reality. I plan to buy the Master of the Mystic Arts epic collection, which basically collects all the stuff from the omnibus. So instead of paying $50 for the omnibus, you can just pay $20 and get the same material. That's coming out, I think, in like October or November or something of next year. So, or of this year, I'm sorry. So, just trying to stealthily collect some Doctor Strange stuff because I think he's a cool character. And I'm actually going to PhillyCon cosplaying as him. So, if I want to, the only Doctor Strange book I've actually read is Doctor Strange. Let me see if I can pull it out here. Doctor Strange: The Oath, which is a really great book. I suggest anyone who reads it can read it. And then I also bought Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom: Triumph and Torment, which I don't want to pull out because that shelf's a little tight. So, so I'm just trying to stealthily build up my Doctor Strange library, I guess. Okay, so second to last book is Star Wars Epic Collection, The New Republic, Volume 1. So I have Volume 2. I actually found that at a Books a Million for $10 too. But this one I found, it's a funny story of this one. I actually found this last year on a comic book trip that I went to with my friends at a Books a Million. I didn't pull the trigger on it because I wasn't really interested in it. But then my friend was telling me about the material that was in it. Mara Jade stuff. Um, Boba Fett, Star Wars, Shadows of the Empire. So a lot of cool stuff. And I think my computer just fell asleep. So give me 1 second. Yeah. Um, so I figured I'd get this. And like I said before, Epic Collections are awesome. So I picked this one up too. So now I have volumes 1 and 2. I think the third one came out I think this past year. So I'm gonna have to get it. This stuff is just all Dark Horse stuff that Marvel is repackaging and reselling and making a shit ton of money off of, which is pretty shitty. But that's what happens when you buy a $1 billion franchise. You can do this kind of shit. So they got a sucker like me to buy it. I actually have like 4 Epic Collections now of Star Wars stuff that I have no idea when I'm gonna get to it, but I want to get to it soon. So. Yeah. I'm not even sure which order to read it in either, because I'm assuming that like the way I have it on my shelf now, I have the Empire at first, and then I have the Rebellion, Volume 1 next, and then I have New Republic. I'm assuming that's the order, but I don't know how much in order this shit's gonna be. I mean, it's a lot of different stuff, so we'll see. We'll find out, I guess. All right, and then the last one, which I didn't even know existed, because they kept putting them out, I guess. I found this Miss Marvel Volume 3 hardcover. So you can see here. I don't know if you can actually see. I actually have. Yeah, it's not in the camera shot. I actually have volumes 1 and 2 of Miss Marvel. The volume 1 I bought at PhillyCon 2017, and the second volume I bought online for like $10. So awesome. I actually found out why I got it for $10 because the one edge is like severely bent in. So I mean, it doesn't affect the pages inside, so I don't care. But this was for $10 and it's still sealed. So I don't know how good this is. To be honest, I haven't read any. I don't think I've read a single comic where Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, is in the book. So I just heard through the grapevine, through other people, that Miss Marvel is awesome and that we should read her and all the stuff. Um, so yeah, I found her third hardcover, um, and I was looking online, and I guess there's a fourth one that either has already come out or is coming out. So I guess I'll have to get that now because I got the first 3, might as well get the fourth. But these are really cool formats. I mean, there's an omnibus that collects I think the first 2 hardcovers, but I mean, like I said before, I found the first 2 for like $20 combined. So why get the omnibus if I can just save money on this? But yeah, this is actually still sealed and all that shit. So it's crazy how BAM gets this stuff for dirt cheap and gets to sell it like that. So yeah, so that's my haul, guys. I think total I spent like $60 on all this stuff, which is pretty crazy. I mean, compared to what the cover price is, probably like $150 probably for all this stuff if you were to pay cover. Um, so yeah, so this has been Dan with a Books a Million haul. Like I said before, I'll be doing hauls like this. I'll be doing other stuff. I'll post a video later on talking about my plans for the channel going forward. But yeah, this has been Dan with a haul video. So see you guys next time. Bye.